everybody. You guys answered my question, so now I'm here to answer yours. A lot of you were really responsive to my plea of if I should do this or not. So we'll see how it goes. If this is one of the things that I get really kind of into, like making a video once a week or, you know, showing you my weird and awkward life, then I would be more than happy to do that, whether it be through makeup or through art or through other people's art, because I do like sharing the people who inspire me the most. This place will be kind of for me to show you that. So I really want to thank you guys for Ray for kind of pushing me to do this. Not pushing me, but, you know, kind of giving me the courage I needed to at least attempt to make it look like I knew what I was doing on the internet. Which isn't very hard for a lot of people, and those are the kind of people who don't really need to be on the internet. So makeup and art was the big thing you guys were really curious about. So the big question that I had multiple people ask me was about the stuff that I use artistically. So that's going to be a completely other video. I may save that for next week, so that way it'll kind of jump us right into the channel. So I felt that that would take up a little bit too much time. This isn't supposed to be like a really long and awkward, oh my god, so many people ask me so many questions, and it wasn't like that, and I don't want to be like that. So a lot of you guys are, you know, close or personal friends, and I'm okay with sharing this with other people who I don't know, like in the flesh. So here is my YouTube page. Thank you for coming. If you like it or subscribe to it, either one, I don't know which one these do. Thank you. You guys don't really have to do that. I'm not going to ask or beg or plead for you to do that because it doesn't really matter to me. So if you want to tell your friends about it, or if I do a makeup video and you want to share it with your friends, do it. I will post other makeup videos from other people in links below when I'm done yapping your heads off, because I'm inspired by other people first and foremost. So I will definitely link all those people, like just so you guys can kind of get a better insight as to what I like to do. So thanks guys, I'll answer your questions here in a second. So thank you. I do that a lot. You'll have to excuse the tisking. I don't know why I do it, but here I am to answer some of your questions. And I kind of have my little cheat sheet. It doesn't look like a lot, but I kind of just chicken scratched it. So my first question was from Emily, and I'm friends with her on Instagram. She's really sweet and does makeup stuff too. So her question was, what first inspired you to draw? And these kinds of questions are kind of hard for me just because I don't really remember. My dad was a taxidermist, so I was always around animals, and I got to see a lot of really cool stuff growing up, and being around nature was really inspiring. So my dad was tattooed, and I was always really curious as to how that process went to eventually grow up to do that, and that was kind of cool. Like, I get to use my artistic skill every day. So so it was probably just being in nature. Growing up, I really got into anime, and my parents were like, well, maybe you should try drawing like portraits of people. And at that age, when you're really into anime, you're like, no, mom and dad, I just want to draw anime because it's the coolest, and, you know, like animu. And I kind of got out of that phase eventually, which, thanks mom and dad. So yeah, portraits are my main thing that I like to draw. So outside of like characters and stuff for like our D&D group, I can't even talk anymore. But yeah, so just nature, I think in general was that first kind of like jab at like, maybe you should draw some of this stuff because it's really cool. Blair J. Campbell, also on Instagram, he's also an artist and he does really cool shirt designs, so I'll post a link for him if you guys want to check that out, because he's a really cool guy. What is your dream art job? And this I get asked a lot. When I was younger, I thought I wanted to be a tattoo artist, and I kind of got to that point, and I really love tattooing, but my biggest goal that I had being an artist was to eventually be like the people I admire the most, which it's people who work mainly in movies doing concept art for big budget fantasy films or video games. And I like to play video games, and I definitely like my fantasy movies, so I would really like to do that kind of thing. I hear it's an incredibly stressful job, but I would be okay with that, I think, if it were the kind of material I like to draw. So I would say working in movies or concept designing, that would be really interesting. I don't do anything digital, so that's one of the things that kind of holds me from trying to apply for any kind of position like that. But there are a lot of artists out there who are just insanely talented, and their skills just far outgo my own, but it still gives me that kind of hope that like I'm on the right track, this is where I need to go. Rachel, who I went to high school with, she is a beautiful singer. She was one of the first people I actually tattooed when I started tattooing, and she's fantastic. I love her. What inspired you the most as an artist, and where do you look for inspiration? I drew two little eyeballs. Whoops. I probably should have written these out a little bit better. What inspires me the most is other artists. Nature. I kind of like to surround myself with that kind of stuff just because I can see where I'm at as an artist. Like maybe this person is much better than I am, but I can sit there and kind of peer over their shoulder and be like, oh man, you know, you're really, really awesome. And I like being able to give that feedback to other artists. When it comes to looking for inspiration, a lot of Renaissance art is really like there's something about it. I could sit and look at it all day. It's just because you could kind of glance over it and not see anything, but when you go back and look at all the teeny tiny details, it's all there. Like all of the passion that went into putting together the portrait, the people who had to sit there for a million hours, the clothes they had to wear, which were detailed by hand, and it's just, you sit and think about this kind of stuff, and it's just insane. Like to me, it's insane. Anybody who puts more than like 5 minutes into a drawing to me is insane, because I like to just sit, get it all done at one point, and then just go on to the next one. And I know there are a lot of people, especially digitally, who just, they can sit there and spend 10, 15 hours on a drawing and it not be done. And that's so cool. Let's see. The one funny question I got was more of a limerick, which was, why do we park in a driveway and drive on a parkway? So if you guys know the answer to that question, you can post it below, because I didn't have any idea. That's just how that goes. Haley also, she and a couple other people also asked the same question. How did I discover I was an artist? I don't really know. Like I said, it had to, my dog is sitting here whining at me. Come here. No? Okay. He doesn't like me very much. I guess it was just growing up, and since my dad was in the military, we were kind of like, we got to move around a lot. So I'm not really sure when it was I discovered as, wow, I'm an artist. How interesting. I kind of still don't consider myself an artist, because it's just, I still have way too much to learn. So, did my love of makeup stem from art? Yes. Like this is definitely a new thing for me. I never wore makeup when I was in school, ever. So a lot of people come up to me and go, there's no way you're still the same person you were that I went to school with. And that's because, well, surprise, I'm not. I stole that person in their body, and here I am. I'm just kidding. But But no, makeup is definitely a new thing to me, and maybe it was because of art, because Kat was the reason why I got into makeup to begin with, because I was like, oh, I need to follow someone I really respect, and she started making makeup and I started buying it, and ta-da! So, but I think that's it. I think that was all the main questions. If I missed your question, you can definitely ask it again, or if you have other questions, you can ask those too. I just know when it comes to the art tools, a lot of people ask me about that, so I'll definitely make a side video for that, so that way it doesn't kind of get meshed up in here. So of course, if I don't do this video the right way, or if it looks stupid, I'm going to delete it and then remake this completely altogether. So don't tell anyone I said that. But I think those are all the questions, and I really appreciate you guys and your interest and all of your kind words and your wonderful thoughts behind what's going on here, because it's really new to me. I'm not even going to pretend to know what I'm doing when it comes to making a video. So if you have any suggestions, if you have any programs, if you have anybody who's really good at doing this kind of stuff and wants to help someone out, don't tell them about me, because I like being by myself on my day off, and that's ultimately when these are going to be done, is on my day off. So thank you for coming by and watching me make a fool of myself. But until we meet again, this is the Talon Lorian YouTube channel signing off. And my dog. Thanks, guys.